If the cord on your MagSafe PowerBrick looks anything like this, it can easily be repaired without buying a new cord. We'll show you how in this video. Start by cutting the cord off the PowerBrick. Then cut off the damaged part to expose fresh wires. Then cut away the outer sheathing, being careful not to cut the inside wires. Just take your time and slowly cut it off. Once the outer insulation is removed, you'll see an inner insulated wire wrapped with uninsulated wires. Untwist and unravel the uninsulated wires to separate them from the insulated one. If you were really careful when you remove the outer insulation, most or all of the wires should still be intact, but don't worry if a few of them are cut short. It won't affect the performance. Use a pair of wire strippers or a knife to cut off the insulation on the white wire to expose about a 1/4 inch of the wire. With the insulation removed, twist the metal wires together. Then twist all the bare metal strands together into another separate wire. Twisting the strands together just helps to hold it all together and will make it easier for us to put the insulation on, which is the next step. Cut a short piece of small heat shrink tubing that'll fit just over the wires that you just twisted up. Then we'll just slide that right over the top. You can see here that some of the little strands of wire that we accidentally cut are making it a little bit difficult to slide that heat shrink tubing over the top. Again, it's not that big a deal if you cut a few, and it just makes it a little bit harder, but it definitely can still be done. With the heat shrink tubing in place, any source of heat will shrink it down for a tight fit over the wire. This next bit may be overkill and could probably be skipped, but it makes for a nicer final product and should help prevent stress on the cord from breaking it here again so soon. Cut a short piece of a larger size of heat shrink tubing and slide it over both wires, then heat it up and melt it down in the same way. Now we prepare the plug that anchors the wire in the PowerBrick adapter. We'll need to remove the old wires. If you haven't watched our video on how to rewire a PowerBrick, it might be worth your time to help you understand how we removed this plug in the first place. The Dremel tool cuts through the plastic easily with a cutoff wheel, and then we just pull really hard to pull those wires out. It's almost ready, but to help get the wires in there a little better, we're going to clean off a little bit more of the plastic and then we'll drill it out. The Dremel tool again is really easy, it just cuts right through this stuff. The exact size of the drill bit isn't important, but you'll want to make sure you don't go over about 3/16 of an inch.
There we go.
The idea is that you've drilled out all the old insulation from inside the tubing here, and it's ready to receive the new wires. It should now be pretty easy to slide it over the wires and right into place. Pull the grommet back a little bit to expose the area where you're going to glue it. Apply some super glue and then slide it back into place and let it set until it sets up. And then it should be ready to install back on your PowerBrick. Make sure you watch our other video on how to do that. If you position the grommet just right, you won't be able to see any of the heat shrink tubing and it'll look just like a factory fit.